Okay, push your 5 watts or better here. Make sure you're in a line. And all together, I see 6. I am going to be getting used to you guys here a little bit early on, so let's just bear with me. Okay, so we're all together. We can start stringing this out in order. Taylor, Daniel, Frank. First 3.
Taylor's on.
Duncan, Chris, and Jamie, you're the back 3.
A little bit of oil, olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and then salt and pepper, thyme.
Okay, watch your power up at the front. We don't want to burn Chris out right away here. Chris, just hold into that 4-5 spot. We're good.
And you're on.
Chris, just
Right,
power through because of this climb. Just power through because of this climb.
Taylor's off.
Daniel, followed by Frank. And Chris and Jamie.
Daniel easing.
Daniel's coming off. Frank is on.
Yep.
If you power through like this, Chris, just hold it for 10 seconds and let everybody get up to pace. Frank, keep holding on. Duncan is up in 7. Okay, as Duncan moves up, Chris, your job is to hold his wheel for 1 minute. Do string this out a little bit, Duncan. That means you can try and push the pace just a little bit. We're too blobbed up here. We don't have a good line. Watch that wheel, Chris. The power required out of the back rider is a lot higher than I expected. Taylor, you're going to go through everybody like butter here. Just keep going and keep it steady. Watch
Roger
Taylor's
that.
wheel. Watch Taylor's wheel as he goes through. Okay, Chris, take over if you can for another 10 seconds. Jamie, stand by to second wheel on Chris. Chris, no more pulls until we're on top of Trafalgar Square, okay?
Okay.
You can start easing, Chris. Jamie's taking over.
Jamie on.
Taylor on deck.
Jamie, Taylor, Daniel, and Frank. I see a good line with the first 3. That's it. That's a nice line.
Coming up to 5.
Taylor on for 1 minute.
Taylor, starting at 4, be careful. You are going to take us through to the bottom of the hill. Chris, there's a little bit of a downslope here before the climb. Don't worry about your position. Just move yourself to the front. As we go around this corner, I want you to mob on Chris. It's about 500 meters. Taylor, as we go on the left-hand corner, I want you to slip back just behind Chris's wheel. Chris, hold the pace. Daniel and Frank, 1, 2. Daniel and Frank, get in front of Chris. Daniel, Frank, Duncan. Good job, Chris. There's this little kicker here. Nothing major. Another little drop, and then we turn to the right, and we start heading towards that cork, the Royal Red Road.
Daniel easing.
Daniel is easing. Frank, you're on. Okay, we've mobbed a little bit. Frank, if you can, a little bit of a dig. Duncan, stay on his wheel. Chris, just stay in the middle for right now. Five more seconds if you can, Duncan. Or sorry, Daniel. Make that Frank. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. Frank. Duncan taking over.
Duncan on.
Little dig, Duncan. Try and stretch the line just a touch. If you're in a recovery position, hold the line. You'll get a better recovery. Looking fantastic, Chris. Bit of a corner here, and then we head over to the left-hand turn. The sprint, there's no points for the sprint. Just steady through. Chris, in 5 seconds, you're going to give me just a 15-second pull, nothing more. Start ramping, Chris. Duncan, come off.
Duncan off.
Just hold it for another 5 seconds, Chris. Jamie, get into position and take over from Chris. Taylor on Jamie's wheel.
Roger.
Chris, move. Allow yourself to drop to that sixth wheel position. As the fourth rider goes by, pick up a little bit of pedal pace so you don't get spat out the back. We need to close the gap between the first and second rider. Jamie, just an ease, just an ease. Feather it off just a touch.
All right, Taylor's there.
Easing off. Come through.
Taylor's coming through. Followed by Daniel. That's it. Allow that line to form. Taylor's holding this pull for a little bit. And Jamie, watch yourself behind Chris. Hold that wheel. Nice and smooth, you guys. Nice and smooth. Try not to crowd the front three positions. Okay, Daniel, I'm going to get you to start moving up, please. Frank on Daniel's wheel.
Taylor's off.
Daniel on.
Duncan is on Frank's wheel.
Just come with me and you can maybe take. Daniel easy.
Daniel's off. Frank, 30-second pull. Okay, Duncan standing by to start ramping up. Jamie, keep an eye on that second wheel position. It's Chris's, but I need you there just in case.
Say it. Chris, come through if you want.
Duncan's moving up. Duncan's moving up to the front. Chris is on his wheel. Chris, don't be afraid to tell me that you got to hold into a recovery spot. I can leave you in that fourth wheel for a while. Okay, Duncan, we are getting a little bit of a grouping in behind you.
Run a little harder.
Just a touch, just a feather up.
Got it.
Jamie, I'm going to need you to start moving yourself up to the front of the train. Duncan's coming off. Jamie is taking over, followed by Taylor.
Duncan off. Be on.
Taylor on deck.
Off in 5.
Good job, Jamie.
Right.
Taylor's taking over. Daniel, you stay on Taylor's wheel. Make sure you're staying on his wheel. You guys have a very good line going. Okay, we're starting to bunch up a little bit. I'm going to give you another 15 seconds, Taylor. Daniel, start moving it up in front of Taylor, but just feather it up. Way you go, Daniel.
Taylor easing.
There's a
Taylor.
3%. There's a 3% drag here. Watch the 5th and 6th positions. If you've got a line, it'll be easy for everybody to get up and over.
Daniel easing.
Just hold it until we get over this 4% climb. Then there's a little bit of a descent. Get on Chris's wheel and let's reform the line. Frank followed by Duncan.
Use momentum. Doing great.
Good job, Chris. Duncan, stand by to take over. Start ramping up. Start ramping up.
Duncan's ramping. Don't drop the wheel, boys.
There's the line. Don't wrap them too hard from that fourth position. Guys will just crowd it. Just a 3% grade here will bring everybody together, unfortunately. Chris, I'm going to skip your turn again here. You were up at the front end. I'm not sure that you can get back there again. So, Jamie, if you're there, yes, you are. Take over from Duncan.
Duncan's off.
Taylor on second wheel.
Roger.
Followed by Daniel and Frank. Taylor is there. Just a little ease off, Daniel. Just little ease off. Allow everybody to get into position. Taylor should be at front.
Taylor on.
Jamie off.
Chris, I'd rather give you specific pulls rather than random pulls. If you do shoot forward, that's fine. But let's see if I can't get you a proper pull in behind Duncan. Taylor is on right now, followed by Daniel. We have a long, draggy section coming up that's almost 5 kilometers long. Taylor is coming off in 5 seconds. Daniel, stand by to ramp it up. Daniel, start ramping up. Frank, second wheel.
Sorry, Frank.
Frank, just keep pulling through to the front and take your turn as soon as you get there. Go through, Frank, followed by Duncan, followed by Chris. You can come off a little bit, Daniel. Frank is on. Chris, allow yourself to slip in behind Duncan. 10 more seconds. Good job, Chris. Stay on that wheel. You're doing good. Ramp it up, Duncan.
Ramping.
Watch that wheel, Chris. You can come off now, Frank.
This is Daniel. I might need to skip my next pull.
That's okay. It's okay. Watch the gap, though, Daniel. Make sure there's no gap forming.
Taylor closing. That was my fault. That was my gap.
30 seconds left for Duncan. It's extremely difficult when you're following a 1-minute pull to be able to constantly still pull your turn afterwards. So don't worry about it. We'll make sure that this settles out. 10 seconds. Chris, you're going to get us to the bridge, and I want you to remember that the bridge has an arc in it. So it does hit a 5% grade. Ease off, Duncan. Chris, hold
Duncan out.
that line. Jamie on his wheel. Ten more seconds, Chris. Jamie, start ramping up. Chris, ease off and get in your recovery before the bridge. Taylor is second wheel. Daniel, I do want you to stay behind Taylor unless you can't. You do not need to pull after Taylor. I'm going to be watching you here a second, Daniel.
Daniel, 5.
Okay, we got a little gap, 3-4. Taylor, just keep it nice and steady.
Roger. Let me know when I can hit it.
You can pull a little bit, ramp it up just a touch. Get over.
Momentum.
Get. Bridge was a little farther away than I thought. Just keep steady. Keep steady. Feather it up just a touch more. Just a touch. Taylor and Daniel, stand by to ease off. Pick up. I need to make sure you guys can still hear me.
Yep.
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you.
Who's on right now? Frank is on.
Frank is on.
Taylor off.
Duncan's got 2.
Okay,
Thank you.
Chris, that's the bridge up there. Stay behind Duncan.
I'll get us back up there.
Watch the gap. Watch that gap. Chris is trying to close it. Watch the gap. Good job, Chris. Okay, remember there's an arc in this bridge. Just hold a nice steady pace. We might be opening it up just a little bit too much right now.
All right, Duncan's on. I can go for as long as you want.
We are going to crowd just a little bit right here, which is okay because it hits 5%. That 5 is over. We're going to start going down the hill. And there will be some momentum changes in the pack.
Everybody stay together.
Left-hand turn, we're going to go down the escalator, and then we'll be back into our pull. Our pull is going to start with Duncan.
Sounds good.
I know you've been already pulling, but just keep with it,
That's
Duncan.
Fine.
Left turn, right turn, left turn, and after the left turn, we're into our pull order. Duncan, open it up just a touch. Chris, if you can, hold his wheel. Let's see if we can't string out our line again. And we do have more grades coming up after the tube. Okay, 10 seconds, Chris. 5 seconds, Chris. This is a grade. Lead us up for 30 seconds, Chris. On his wheel is Jamie. Be careful feathering off, Chris. Jamie picking it up in 5 seconds. Duncan, watch yourself on that gap in the back.
No problem.
Little bit of a climb here. Don't overdo it. Try and stay together, all 6. Little bit of a gap forming between 2 and 3. It levels off again. And Taylor, you start working yourself up to the front now. If you're behind Taylor, Fletch, hold his wheel. Hold his wheel until you get back into the group. Good job, Daniel.
Daniel, head on.
Just keep going, Taylor. Go all the way through. Daniel, just get into that group. Watch Taylor's through. You guys were bunched up a little bit. You might make this a little bit more difficult. Daniel, did you make it through with him? Yes, you did. Good job. 20 more seconds, Taylor.
Roger that.
Daniel, just a short little pull from you. Nothing major. Just hold his wheel and then pull through Taylor.
Taylor's off.
Frank,
Pressure, Duncan.
if you gain on Daniel, hold the pace. Okay.
Oh, I passed him. Yeah. Sorry.
Everything okay, Taylor? You're not spinning.
Oh, hell,
We-
basket. I lost my
Shock.
You guys, we might be down to 5. Okay,
Yep.
4% grade here. Stay together. Stay together. Fletch, I need you to stay with the pack. Taylor has 0 power.
Now he's back. But he's 20 seconds back. Come on, man, you can do it.
Nope. Lost again.
Okay, Chris, careful. I can't get you dropped. We got to get to the escalator. Watch Chris. Watch Chris. He's got momentum coming through the pack. Hold his wheel. Duncan, we may have missed your turn here a little bit, which is okay. Chris is on right now. Let's just try and get back into a formation. Behind Chris is Jamie. Jamie, as you take over, Daniel will be on your wheel.
Taking over.
Frank, I need you to stay on Daniel's wheel.
Yeah, pulling it too. Sorry.
Easy, Jamie. You got a little bit of a gap. Hold it steady. Nice job to close that gap, Chris.
There you go.
Okay, we're going downhill. So the lightweight's got to watch out. Duncan and Jamie, be careful on this downhill. That's it. Power through. Jump on those wheels. Use this descent and power through. Okay, it flattens out. And then we head back to the tube. Nice job, Daniel.
Duncan will pull to the elevator for escalator.
Allow Duncan to get in there.
Who's on the front?
Chris, Chris, the escalator is coming. I need you to sit in that 4th wheel position. Allow others to kind of be around you. Everybody has their own tactic. My suggestion is you drop one gear on this little ramp and get ready to drop another gear on the left-hand turn. Hit the planks first. Stand up. Come on, Chris. Push it, Chris. Push it, Chris. That's it, Chris. Good job, Chris. Right in there. Okay, Fletch, careful. We have 8 kilometers left. Fletch is on. Frank and Jamie are right there. Jamie, if you're getting your legs back, power past Daniel. Frank, follow his wheel. Push yourselves, push yourselves. There's a lot of flat left now. Okay, Jamie, stand by to take a little off. Frank, you're being caught by Duncan. See if you can stay in front of Duncan. Lots of momentum there. Good job, Frank. Watch Frank's wheel, everybody. He's trying to dig in and get back in front. Hold it.
Second wheel.
Duncan is second wheel on Frank. Keep going, Frank. Good job. Good job. Okay, Frank, you can ease off.
Duncan on.
There's some rollers here after this banner. And then, of course, we have that one more climb to Trafalgar Square to worry about. We'll be there in 3.5 minutes.
This is Daniel. I'm getting busted.
Good job, everybody. Duncan, just watch out. I got Daniel's just falling off the back here.
Easing.
Get into that draft and hold that draft, Daniel.
You good, Chris?
He's in the draft now.
I'm down.
Good job, everybody. A quick drop, and then we go up again. Like I said, there's some rollers here until we get to Trafalgar Square. Okay, Chris, hold that momentum up at the front. Jamie, try and find his second wheel. Daniel, watch Jamie. Keep going, Jamie. Daniel's on your wheel. We need a line, so you guys need to push it a little bit. Got 4 in a line. One person is being forced out. Daniel, stay there, Daniel. Frank, I'm going to get you to take over. Chris and Daniel, watch that gap. Duncan, you'll come through.
Duncan's coming through now. Momentum. Continuing.
Hold that wheel. Hold Duncan's wheel. Frank, you're going to have to hold Duncan's wheel. Let the group behind you form. This is our last little bit of recovery drop before we go up the hill to Trafalgar Square.
Duncan will pull all the way to the hill.
Hold it steady, Duncan. You're going to have some momentum shifts in behind you that might actually catch you. Just keep going.
No problem.
Okay, Frank and Daniel, close that gap.
All right.
Good job. Good job.
Pretty good, Frank.
Okay, here comes the right-hand turn. I want all 5 together up this hill because it's still 5 kilometers to the finish. Well, 4. Dig in, Chris. Dig in, Chris. 500 meters, Chris. You got this. You're halfway up that hill. Daniel, get to the left-hand corner. It levels off, and then it drops.
Set my wheel, guys.
Okay, Frank and Chris, stay with the group. Good job, Daniel. Excellent work, guys. Duncan, just hold the line for a little bit longer at the bottom of this hill when we're starting to turn right. We'll get Jamie to do a little bit of a pull, and I'll just get you to drop to the back again, Duncan, to make sure everybody stays together. On the right-hand turn, Jamie. Pull forward, Jamie.
Duncan's off. Jamie on.
Good job holding those wheels, Daniel. Chris, get you in there as well, Frank. Nice job. Duncan, just cruise in the back there a little bit.
Right. Daniel.
Okay. Change is coming up. Keep going, Frank. Frank and Chris, you guys are burning matches. One of you needs to pull, one of you needs to be on a wheel.
I'll go.
Get on a wheel. We only have 1.5 kilometers left. There's a little bit of a dip here and then a little bit of a false flat up. And then when we make that corner, you guys can pick up a lot of speed. Okay, Duncan, start pulling the line apart.
Token's on.
Frank,
Great, guys.
Daniel, everybody get in there. Get on his wheel. Come on, Chris. Come on, Chris. You've done this much work. Come on. Hold that wheel, Chris. Stay in there, Daniel and Frank. Excellent, Chris. Come on, Chris. Stay in the draft. Pull through, Frank. Pull through. If you're going to pull through, pull all the way through. All the way through. Chris, just muscle your way through to the front. Awesome. Awesome. You guys are down to what, 700 meters? It's on. It's on, guys. Let's go. From the back. You got this, Daniel. Come on, Daniel. All the way through. Chris just did it. You can do it. Come on. Come on. Push, 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 push. You got a PR waiting for you, Daniel. That's it. Chris, a little more of a dig. 300 meters. 250. 200 meters. Go, 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 go. Daniel's through. Come on. PR, Daniel. Come on, Chris. Come on, Chris. PR for you too, bud. You guys did sub 42. And everybody got a PR. Spin out those legs. Spin out those legs.
Great job, guys.
Sub 42.
Great work.
Sorry, connection, guys. I changed the battery, my power meter, that didn't do it, and I turned off my